Hey friends, it's been a long time since I've done an installment of the Dean's Office, but I've been getting a lot of comments about how much it really costs to live small and travel big like we do. So I went ahead and for the year 2021, I did everything I could to put very precise details. Like if my wife went in and got a cup of ice and it cost 25 cents, I'd put it on my app just to make sure that we had it. So that's what I'm all about today. We're gonna go ahead and go through the entire list for you so that you can see just how much we spent. It really did surprise us. We felt like we were doing a really good job of living small. But life sometimes throws you a little bit of a curveball and you just have to adapt. So here it is. I'm gonna go ahead and put down below here each category and how much it is so that you get an idea. All right, first of all, we put campsites plus lodging. And when I'm talking about this, the reason why I had to add lodging in there, we took a 5-week tent trip traveling from Missouri all the way up to Glacier National Park and then back. And there were a couple of times where the wind conditions were just horrible, like 45-mile-an-hour gusts. And so we just knew it would rip our little tent apart. So we decided to go ahead and get a motel. That being said, our average for the entire year was $104 a month. There are some months where we had zero. There was nothing at all. Like if we're work camping and they pay for they just give us a free campsite, we're not paying anything for that. But I know on the tent trip, just that one month of June, we had, believe it was $364. That's the disadvantage of being in a tent, is we couldn't just go and stop in at a Walmart somewhere. All right, next would be what I consider fuel costs related to RVing. So it'd be like propane, filling up propane tanks. It'd be like buying gas for our gas generator, those types of things. It averaged about $21 a month, which wasn't bad. We had some months, of course, where there was zero. We had other months where it got as high as $49 a month. But on average, it ended up being about $21. For vehicle fuel, and this is where, again, huge range depending on where we were and how far we were going. It ended up being $246 a month. Now, our 1999 Ford diesel truck only gets about 11 and a half miles per gallon when it's pulling our travel trailer. It gets about 14 or 15 when it's not. So and we did traveling all the way from Missouri to Montana. Right now we're down in Florida. We did a lot of traveling this year. Our high was $529 in one month, and our low was $43, depending on if we're stationary or we're constantly on the move. Maintenance and repair. We always like to keep a little bit in our budget for maintenance and repair, but it was quite a bit more than we had suspected it would be. This is one of those things that just really pops out, and you gotta add this to your budget as well. Ours ended up being on average $179 a month. Now most months it was zero, but one month it was $1,497. So you just have to roll with the punches and go with it. I think that's probably a good estimate. $179, maybe $200 a month would be good, just so you'll have a little bit stored up. Now, groceries and sundries, it came on average to about $569 a month. The high was $775, and the low was $362. And again, it really depended on what we were doing at the time and what we already had in stock and those types of things. Towards the end of the year, I had kind of a little bit of a health scare, and I adopted a philosophy where I don't eat any refined sugar, and I try not to eat any enriched wheat bread and things like that. So it's a special diet, and those kind of special diets do cost a little bit more. On the other hand, we don't go out to eat near as much, and that's our next category, restaurants. And it's $114 a month. We had zero in the month of December, which was amazing. And we've been as high as $194 a month. I think, again, that was the month of June when we were traveling so much in our car. But $114 a month is what we were averaging there. For phone and internet, again, all over the place. At the beginning of the year, we had a Verizon with a jetpack. We were doing two different types of bills, one for the Verizon phone and one for the jetpack. And I think it was as high as $189 at one time. Now we're both using Visible, which is unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data with no throttle back. And it's between the two of our two phones, it's $30 a month, so it's $60 total. So it's come down quite a bit since then, but for the year 2021, it was $79 a month was our average. For Hulu and Spotify, it's a straight shot. Now, there were very few bills that were just straight all the way through. My wife really loves her music, and so it's $10 a month, and that's fine. We just go with that. It's $10 a month. We know it's going to be there each month. Laundry, it averaged $13 a month. Just going to different laundromats throughout the United States, wide variety of conditions within the laundromat, but also the price. So one time it did get as high as $30 a month, and there were a few months when it was actually zero. We were able to use somebody else's washer and dryer for free. Now, we had a lot in miscellaneous, and it ended up being $172 a month. The high was $309 and the low was $33 on that. Medicines and vitamins that are above and beyond what you would normally get, okay, that came out to about $14 a month. The high was $54 and the low was $0. Doctor visits, we averaged about $20 a month. Again, the high was $150. There was a time where both of us in the same month had to go and get a chiropractor to fix our backs. I think it was directly related to the tent trip. But anyhow, it's $150 was our high. Most months it was $0. We have, knock on wood, we have pretty good health, so we're in good shape there. In terms of categories, there are very few that are just constant month to month. But there is another one here, and that's health insurance. We went ahead and got a silver plan through the exchange, and it was $134 a month. And that was just consistent all the way through. And auto insurance, there was a time when we had both the truck and the small car so that we could make the tent trip. On average, it averaged out to about $180 a month, but the high was $215 when we had both vehicles, and the low was $107 when we got rid of the car, and now we're back down to just the truck again. So the average per month was $1,879 per month. Now that really surprised us. I would hope that we could go right around $1,200, maybe even $1,400. But we do travel an awful lot, I understand that, but I was hoping it would be down in that area. This was quite a bit more. That averages out to about $22,548 per year. I would use that. If you're planning to travel small but live big, I would use that as a good base right there, keeping in mind the things that I have gone over. We boondock a lot, we moochdock a lot, we get a lot of free campgrounds because we work camp a lot. If you plan to just be, going from RV park to RV park where it's anywhere from $30 to $85 a night, obviously that's going to be quite a bit more. But in terms of just what we like to do, especially with the boondocking, I think you're in pretty good shape if you stay with this list that we have right here. Now, I went and looked because I was just curious. If I took all the low months and put them all together, okay? So remember I said campsite and lodging. It was as high as $364 in 1 month, but 1 month it was $0. So if we took $0 on that, took $0 on restaurants, took $0 on gifts, took $0 on laundry, those types of things, if we were able to just have a month where everything worked out to where it was the lowest level, it would only end up being $580 a month, which would be just incredible. So it's possible to go lower. I do know of one channel that we follow called Paradise and Pennies. They live in a truck camper and they live on very little, like $500 a month. I know they, in fact, have said over the last 5 years that they've been less than $8,000 a year, which it's pretty extreme, some of the things that they do. They forage a lot for food, those types of things. But it is possible to live smaller. On the other hand, if worst case scenario, everything bad happened in that month and we had to stay at campgrounds and we had a lot of traveling and we had this and that, it ended up being, if we took all my high ends and added them all up, it ended up being $4,700 a month. So now we're talking over $50,000 a year that it could easily go. So you can use that as your extremes. If you think that, wow, these guys really do live small, there's no way I can do that, then you might want to think more towards the, hey, I need $50,000 a year. Or if you're someone who looks at us and goes, wow, they have an 18-foot travel trailer, that's way too big. I can live in a truck camper. And I can do it for less. Then that $580 a month might be more accurate. Anyhow, hopefully this is helpful for you. I've enjoyed putting it all together. I really hope that if you have any questions whatsoever, we love to help. So please give us a comment down below. Again, remember, this isn't our total amount that we spend each month because we have YouTube related things. We also give 10% of our income each month to charity. So these are things that you need to consider as well. But this at least gives you a good starting base to help you go down that road. Give us some comments below if you have any questions whatsoever or you like what I did, and we'll try to get more of these for you. We'll see you till next time.